I do solemnly pledge to protect the United States of America against all enemies.
Welcome to Fort Salem.
I've been obsessed with witches my whole life, but then the idea of a witch army kind of happened one day, and I'll never forget it because I got like full-body chills. I really wanted to explore a story that dealt with duty and sacrifice, but from a distinctly female perspective.
One of the things I found most interesting about Motherland was the gender role reversal.
We're witches in a whole different way, and it's a whole new world.
And there's something that's just very fresh about the whole concept that surprises you.
Within the pocket world of the military, it is matriarchal. It's a matriarchal society, but the entire world is not yet a beautiful, perfect matriarchy. But this strong, visible female military definitely affects society at large and changes the way women are perceived in powerful ways.
There are kick-ass, badass women in charge.
Much of the magic that we talk about in this show is vocal magic. So witches have an extra set of vocal cords that allow them to create sounds that regular human beings can't make. To me, magic was just too light and frivolous a word for the kind of stuff that these young women learn how to do. So the idea came to me to call it work. It takes work. It takes a lot of work to learn how to do this stuff and master these sounds. Before you actually conscript at 18, it's illegal for you to learn. Until you go to Fort Salem, you're not really allowed to access this military magic that we see in the show. So the early days of the Bellwether unit are a little rocky, particularly between Abigail and Rael. You could not have three witches from more different worlds.
Abigail knew from the moment she was born that conscription was something that she was going to do. Being a part of the army was something that she needed to do.
When Sarah Alder formed the first witch military, the project was immediately to find more witches. And Alder found so much talent and power in the population of enslaved African Americans that the early ranks of her military were largely black people. And these people were incredibly talented, incredibly powerful, so their daughters became incredibly powerful and talented. And so suddenly there was this elite within the military, and it's true till today. Rael, her lineage is actually pretty humble. Most of her family were medics.
I think one of Rael's biggest hardships is overcoming her mistrust. So you see that in all of her relationships and even the decisions she makes and the way that she communicates with other people in the world, because she's experienced grief in its truest, rawest form. I think she's most fears heartbreak, and in turn that keeps her from being vulnerable with people and trusting people and letting people in.
Then you have Tally, whose mom didn't even serve. And then she didn't even have to serve, but she came anyway. Abigail kind of likes that because it's heroic, but it's still really different from Abigail's background.
Well, Tally is first described, I remember reading, that she is a living exclamation mark. And I thought, how cool. I know something about that. She has an almost incorruptible trust. Tally is most afraid of her unit falling apart, her unit failing basic, and the spree.
So the spree have been around for 20, 25 years.
They just represent everything that's dangerous and cruel in the world.
They believe that conscription is slavery. They make no bones about it. The fact that when you're a witch, you turn 18, the state owns your body.
There's a direct quote from Rael that says, "Conscription is slavery by another name." So I think between her mother's death and the spree running wild, I think she's quite conflicted about where her loyalty lies as the story develops.
The first scene we shot was my first day, and we were in the rain, crawling through the mud.
It was a boot camp.
And I swear they did that on purpose. They're like, that'll get these girls working together.
We had to push each other to get over the wall, as Abigail, Tally, and Rael would. We had to be like, okay, come on, you can do it. I know it's cold, I know it's raining, but we got this. So I feel like that just kicked off the whole group dynamic.
It was fun, but hard.
And I remember just this moment of falling down the boards and where me and Ashley held eye contact. And I was like, this is something. That moment struck me the first time we did it. And I was like, she's it, this is it. then we're gonna go all the way together.